And welcome to High School Original Credit Orientation for Fall 2015 from Montana Digital Academy. Thank you for spending time to watch this brief video to introduce you to the program. Please note, this orientation information applies only to our Original Credit program. If you're in a credit recovery course, which has a CR in the course title name, then you are in an MTDA Connect credit recovery course. Check our website, montanadigitalacademy.org, for more information related to that specific program. With that in mind, let's get started by talking about the Fall 2015 schedule. First, let me tell you about a couple of dates. First, the guaranteed enrollment deadline for schools is August 27th. That's the last day that we'll be able to take any course enrollment in any course at MTDA. After that date, we'll section off. We'll only be able to take enrollments until we are full in individual classes. Our classes begin this semester on August 31st. The add deadline for classes with open spaces is September 8th, and the drop deadline is September 27th. Let's talk a little bit about drops for a moment. Drop requests must be made to the enrolling school before the drop deadline. So if you get into a course and find out that's not for you, and that's totally okay, you should talk to your counselor ASAP or the administrator or site facilitator from your school. For drop requests after that date or for students that are dropped due to inactivity, MTDA will report a WF back to the enrolling school for reporting back on your report card. If you have questions about this process, please contact support at montanadigitalacademy.org or your local site facilitator. Speaking of time, let's talk a little bit about time in our courses. You can expect 4 to 7 hours per course per week to keep pace. It may take more, it may take less, but new online students usually take longer. Please note that regular deadlines will be enforced, and individual teachers may offer flexibility, but most will make deadlines absolute. It's very important that you understand that you will need to engage in the courses daily and weekly in order to keep pace in the environment. The courses were not designed to allow you to take long breaks during the course. So if you disappear for 2 or 3 weeks, when you come back, you may or may not be able to make up assignments that you missed. It's very important that you keep in close contact with your MTDA teacher to let them know if you're having issues or you need to talk through a special scheduling issue. If you have deadlines that you don't understand or the scheduling is confusing in the course, please ask your teacher as soon as you run into a question. It's really important to keep open communication as you're taking an online course with Montana Digital Academy. Let's also talk about the calendar for this upcoming semester. You can download a copy at our website. Please note that MTDA students follow MTDA's calendar, not the local school calendar. So if there's a week, for example, that you are not in school, but Montana Digital Academy is offering services that week, you will still be expected to meet course deadlines. For this coming fall, the holidays scheduled into our calendar include Labor Day in September, Teacher Convention Week in October, Thanksgiving in November, and then of course a winter break in December, January. During those times, no teacher services are available for Montana Digital Academy, although the help desk is generally open during those times. Let's talk about absences. Obviously, in an online environment, absences are a different concept than they are in the face-to-face environment. It's important to note again that our classes are not built to accommodate long absences during the course schedule. You'll be expected to continue on with your class even if you are interrupted in your normal routine. This means for short-term unexpected absences, for example, if you have a verified medical excuse, please talk to your instructor as soon as you're able to work out how to make up assignments. However, if you have long-term or expected absences, this could include school-excused absences, it could include a holiday with your family, whatever the case may be, you should talk to the instructor and seek to make up those assignments before you leave for the absence. And that's very important. If you disappear for a few weeks and come back and say that you were at a school-related absence or you're otherwise taking a vacation, you may or may not be able to make up those assignments if you didn't work it out ahead of time. Please work out absences, long-term absences or expected absences ahead of schedule. With that in mind, let's look at some of the individual tools you will utilize as an MTDA student. First, we're going to go to our website, www.montanadigitalacademy.org, and in the center of that screen, there's a button there that says Students or Parents. Please click on that button, and you'll get to what we refer to as our student portal. A couple notes about this page. First, on the left-hand side, there's always announcements there, and if we have something to say or something important you need to know about, please, please, please take care of that information here. You can see that there are announcements. If there's a site down or if there's a piece of technology that's not working for us currently, that's the place to go to find out more information. Then you log in with your username and password on the right-hand side. Please note that students have individual usernames and passwords. It's different from a parent username and password. If you feel as though that your account is not your own and you want to talk about that process, please contact us as support for more information. Once you log in, you are actually logging in at Genius SIS, our student information system. So let me give you a brief tour of what that system looks like. When you log in, you have a dashboard available to you, and there's information here that's pretty critical. So let me talk about that for a moment. First, in the upper left-hand side, that's the Contact School button. That doesn't contact your teacher, that contacts Montana Digital Academy's offices in Missoula. So please click there if you have a problem or need support. Also on the left-hand side, this is one place that you can look at the grade book. There's two places where you can find that information. Here it's updated every 24 hours. Then we're going to go all the way over to the right-hand side where you see an activity box. And the reason why the activity box is important is we want you to know that your time in Montana Digital Academy courses is marked and logged, which means if you don't log in, we're able to determine that because it keeps a log on your progress. Then under Academic Snapshot, you find the current courses that you're enrolled in. If you click on the course, it will open up to a new window and take you to the MTDA classrooms in a system called Moodle. So let me give you a tour of what that looks like for a moment. The Montana Digital Academy classroom environment, Moodle, is a flexible learning environment that hopefully you can master very quickly. Once you log in, you get a screen that looks like this, and you'll notice here that there's navigation and also student information buttons. Please note the big red help button there. That may jump around in different places in the course, but you know you can always press the Tech Help button to put in a support ticket so we can assist you on individual issues. If you scroll down, there's a list of your current courses, and if you click on that current course name, you'll be able to go inside your course classroom. So what does that look like? Well, let me give you some ideas of what a classroom environment looks like online. Well, first, this is an example course. This is a health course taught by Mrs. Furter, who is a teacher in the Great Falls Public Schools. And from here, let me give you a quick tour of what this looks like. On the left-hand side, there are blocks, for example, the Meet the Teacher block. On the right-hand side of the screen, there's a student information screen. And then down the center, there's the actual curriculum. The key piece here is to look out for those assignments. They are presented to you in a linear fashion, in other words, top to bottom on the screen. A couple pieces here, always look for the Meet the Teacher box. It provides critical contact information for your instructor, including an email address and their telephone number. Also look for the big red help button that's available on almost every classroom screen. If you see and press on this button, you'll be able to put in a support ticket with our support system. And then from here, you need to determine what the class schedule is for your individual class. And every class is a little bit different, just like every class is different in the face-to-face environment. So you should get used to this notion of exploring each class to find out how it works. And every teacher is going to work hard to try to make sure there's clear information on what's expected to you in any individual course. Like, for example, in this case, in U.S. History A, Mr. Jarvis has set up the course by weeks, which means every week you're given a certain number of assignments to work on. What that looks like in particular, for example, the week of September 9th to September 15th would be these particular assignments. So you get an idea of what those look like in each given week. This is Mr. Heisler's Algebra 2A class, and his class works a little differently. He provides you a checklist and module pacing guide so that you know when deadlines are. Again, part of being a great online student is figuring out how your class is set up and be ready to be able to proceed forward with the assignments based on the schedule and expectations in the course. Here's a tip for you. If you don't understand the course schedule or if it isn't obvious to you, that's okay. Just contact support or your teacher, and we're happy to get you connected with your teacher in the support desk, and they can explain to you what the expectations are. Don't wait and assume that it will become clear to you at some point. If you need assistance, contact us, your teacher or the support desk right away so we can assist you in getting connected with the right resources. It's just very important that you get off to the right start right away in your online course. Other places to know about inside the online environment, there's a grades button. It's on the left-hand side. Look for that grade button to know that you can find a grade book there. And the grade book looks like kind of a standard classroom grade book, a percentage grade, points, and then also feedback left by your instructor. Also available to you inside of our systems is the Montana Digital Academy Google Apps for Education system. To give you a quick tour of that, You can go up to MTDA email in the upper menu, and that will take you to your email address. It's your username at montanadigitalacademy.org. And once you're inside of email, you can compose an email, for example, to a teacher. You can also click on Gmail on the main Moodle screen by clicking on the Gmail icon under Google Apps. Some other notes here. You can get to your teacher by going to their email address. It's listed in the course. And all of our teachers have the same format, first name dot last name at montanadigitalacademy.org. And if you can't find contact information on the instructor, please contact us at support, and we're happy to help. Speaking of contacting your teacher, what are the 2 ways that you can contact your instructor? Well, there's a couple of pieces of advice here. Obviously, email is the best way because they may not be available during the time when you're available. That's one of the powers of an online course, is that you can flexibly learn throughout the day whether or not your teacher is directly available. However, you may want to also call and leave a message for your instructor. That's totally okay. We do have some advice, though, on if you choose to do that. First, identify yourself with your full name and identify yourself as a Montana Digital Academy student. Please note that all of our teachers teach face-to-face classes during most of the day, and so it may not be immediately obvious to them, for example, if you just introduce yourself as Steve or Sally, that you're an MTDA student. Also, leave a phone number and a best time to call, remembering that our teachers may not be able to call during school hours, and also clearly describe your question. This is great phone etiquette to make sure that we can contact you back right away so that you can successfully contact an instructor which you may have a question for. Also available to you 24 hours a day is Montana Digital Academy's tutoring system. If you need direct assistance on a content-related question, they can answer questions about particular assignment requirements, for example, but if you have a content question, we do have a live tutoring system available to you 24 hours a day. Most of our classes have a link up top that allows you to access what's called tutor.com. From there, all you need to do is talk about your topic and what you specifically need assistance with. And then from there, a tutoring screen will come up and a live tutor will be available to you so that you can discuss your issue directly with that tutor. Also, please note that if you use the tutoring system, leave us some survey data afterwards. Let us know whether or not this was effective to you. This is a program that's only in second semester at MTDA, and we really want to make sure that you are well supported inside this particular environment. How do you get help? Well, obviously, there's different kinds of help you may need. So I want to talk to you a little bit about who you might contact in order to get help with our systems. First, if you have a content question or an assignment question, start by contacting your instructor. They're available via email, or as we talked about earlier, you can also contact them via phone. Your instructor knows best on what's expected of you on any given assignment. Next, if you have a content question, an immediate content question, you need help right now, please use the MTDA tutoring services I talked about earlier. Those tutors are available to you 24 hours a day and can walk you through smaller pieces of what you may need to be successful in any given unit or particular assignment. Do you have a technical or communication problem? Contact Montana Digital Academy support, and we'd be more than happy to help you in that particular regard, especially if you are unable to get a hold of your teacher, you've attempted to email and leave phone messages, and they're not able to return a call to you or return your email. Contact us at support so we can help you as part of that process. Also remember that the support desk is available 24 hours a day, support at montanadigitalacademy.org, and then also phone numbers available here. That's available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. But also remember that support might not be able to immediately answer your question, especially if it's after hours. So that's something to keep in mind about this particular process. You can also access the help desk by clicking the big red help button anytime you see it in the Moodle classroom. If you have local computer access or other issues, please contact your site facilitator. We're not able to necessarily help with computer problems in your local school, or if you find that the course itself doesn't lend the amount of access you need, start with your local site facilitator and they'll be able to assist or help. So last, I want to present to you 6 pieces of advice for success for any online learner. Are you ready? Number 1. Contact your instructor right away and establish regular communication. Your instructor will work very hard to connect with you for the first week, but you should also do the same. Send an email, introduce yourself, make a personal connection so that you can get the assistance you need when you really do need the instructor's help. Number two, let your teacher or our staff know right away about problems. If there's a problem with a particular assignment, contact your teacher right away. If you're running into problems technically with the course, contact support right away. Let's get this dealt with immediately so that you can be successful inside of this particular environment right away. Number three, expect technology problems. Um, Computers sometimes fail, and computers sometimes fail us as we need them to be ready to go at any time. But you should be ready for those problems and roll with it, and find alternatives if you need them. It's our advice that you have at least 3 ways to access the internet, for example. So if you lose access to the internet, you are not impacting your ability to meet the expectations of the course. Think about alternatives. Think about ways that you can get access to the classroom, even if your standard access means goes away. Number four, seize control of your learning and don't expect the teacher to learn for you. Online learning requires a certain independence that is different than the face-to-face classroom. We can't force feed this information to you, and so you will need to seize control of your learning. Plan your learning. Think about how you're engaging with materials and work hard to make sure that you are as proactive as possible being a great online learner. Number five, give yourself more than enough time and always plan for more until you get a sense of your skills. First-time online learners always tell us that online learning takes more time than they assumed. You should assume that it's going to take at least the amount of time it would take to take the same class in the face-to-face classroom, although research suggests it usually takes more. Until you get a sense of how awesome or maybe struggling you are as an online student, give yourself more opportunity to work in the class than less. Give yourself enough time. And lastly, and certainly not least, don't fall behind. Even if you have flexibility in your course schedule to work a week or two behind the other students, you may find that very quickly you become overwhelmed unless you're extremely proactive about being ahead in the course. Falling behind is oftentimes the #1 sign of a struggling student in the online environment. Okay, and that's it. Thank you for watching this brief orientation video for our upcoming semester at Montana Digital Academy. Again, I want to share with you the support desk, support@montanadigitalacademy.org, and our telephone number, 406-203-1812. Drop us an email, give us a call, let us know how we can help you have a great semester at Montana Digital Academy. My name is Jason Neifer. I'm the Assistant Director, Curriculum Director at MTDA, and it's my pleasure to walk you through this process today. Please connect with us and we can help you become a great online learner. Thanks so much.